What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to RyanREAX, back at you again to the power of the internet. Pretty much this discussion is going to be about women, and not just women in particular, but I understand people are going to be like, oh, that's sexist, why are you only bringing up women? The main thing is this, right? And this isn't really anything new, but it's pretty much women are out to get you. They're programmed that way since birth to want, and get it by any means necessary. The issue is men will pay because they think with the wrong head. They think with two different heads, right? Most of the time they don't think with this one and they think with the other one. And that's an issue. And the reason why it's an issue is because women know that and they'll take advantage of that. They're not out for your best interest. I made a prior video, which was really short, pretty much just saying, don't trust what women say, trust what they do. Because they'll say anything to get whatever they want. Anything in their power to manipulate, control, and use you. I know it sounds messed up and you might be thinking I'm generalizing women, but just look at the way the world is based on just the human anatomy, mainly the woman anatomy, pretty much starting wars over people killing each other over people cheating, people manipulating, people trying to get with their wife or girlfriend or whatever. And I learned the hard way plenty of times. So I'm here to just pretty much not say my testimony, but just give you, I guess, 5 tips to understand the warning signs and what to look out for to protect you from these women. And women, don't worry, for you at the end, I got a few tips for you to pretty much avoid the certain types of men out there that are trying to use. So tip number one is to learn a person based on their peers, their friends, their family. So if you meet somebody in real life and they're willing to be your friend and they want to at least appear to get to know you more, that's cool, but see who's part of their social setting. If you know people in the neighborhood that hang out with them, maybe get some type of like testimonies from them first to kind of get a character feel, a report on how the person is. Because the last thing you want to do is meet the person yourself, have them say, because again, like I said, don't trust what they say, trust what they do. But if you're just getting to know them, you're not really going to know what to trust about them because it's new in the relationship. So you can get some stories from other people that are acquainted with them from the past. Now, if you don't know anyone from their social circle, then always, if you are interested in them, meet inside of a public area multiple times, even if it takes 6 months to a year of just meeting that way. If they're still in your life by then and you haven't given them anything, then they really do like you. But let's face it, a lot of these women, they expect stuff on the first date, if not the second. That's if you're dating them at all. If they're putting you in the friend zone bracket, then honestly, you're kind of wasting your time. And the reason why you're wasting your time is because if you're looking for a girlfriend or a wife, you don't want to be in the friend zone. Now, a worldly standard view on what the friend zone is going to differ than, let's say, what a godly standard would be. So a godly standard would be like flirting, right? Flirting, if it's in a safe way, a platonic way, is fine. It shows that they actually like you and they're comfortable around you. The worldly sense of flirting would be if they're sending you nudes instantly, or if they're giving you sexual hints that they're interested in you and sexually. Now, a worldly standard would be people actually liking that. Oh, she puts out early, she's easy. Godly standard, no, that's bad, because if she's putting out with you, she's gonna put out with other people too. And the higher a woman's body count, and I know people think that's misogynistic to say or sexist, body count, but body count goes both ways, it's male and females. Anyway, if they're willing to have this high body count on you, then they're willing to continue to make that body count grow, even if they're with you. Now I know you're gonna say, oh, you're generalizing again. No, but it is the majority of people. Just look around. See, the issue is people don't wanna talk about this stuff. They don't wanna be canceled, so they wanna hide and pretend like it's not going on. Or they wanna make it seem like that their relationship life is doing just fine. And they're gonna play dumb like they don't know what I'm talking about or they don't know anything about this. But the truth is they understand. People understand that women are out there for a couple things. So yes, like I said, tip 1 is to actually get to know their peers. And now tip 2 is watch where you meet people. See, people think, oh, what's the first place to go to find a date? A dating app. It's 2024. The past 5 to 10 years has been nothing but just revolutionizing and evolutionizing the social media frame, platform, world, whatever you want to call it, network, doesn't matter whatever you want to call it. It is accelerating. The problem is women use that for their advantage because number one, it's easier to catfish on social media. You can use old pictures, you can write whatever you want on your profile, and if you are asking them a question through a message, through text. And what I mean by text is not just a text message through your SMS on your phone, but I mean like a Facebook message, a message on various dating platforms I don't want to mention. I don't want to give people ideas. Anyway, if you write them a message, they're going to be able to digest it, analyze it, and it'll give them time to build a response based on that, which means it's going to be less likely to be genuine, or at the very least, it's going to be less likely for you to catch the genuity of the message. Because in real life, like, you're sitting here looking at me talk to you, right? Now, I can edit this video, I can cut it up, I can have a script, a teleprompter. None of this is scripted, it's all out here, and it's not rehearsed or anything. So in real life, if you're talking to somebody, if you ask them a question and they answer, you can kind of read the room. You can kind of read their emotions on how you could perceive the way they are, if they're being genuine or not. But through text, again, they could just sit there and think about a response that they know is going to, check a box for you if they like you. If they're just ruthless and they don't feel you as either a threat to their social circle or a threat to them losing something, they may be honest with you and say stuff, but generally they don't, because they don't know the future, so it's better to be safe than sorry. So number 2 is watch where you meet people. If you meet people in the library, cool, it's a better chance that it's going to be more successful, because a lot of women don't like to read. Men don't like to read either. But a lot of women definitely don't like to read. They're lazy, they don't want to do anything. So if they're sitting there in a library, it shows that they actually want to learn stuff. They want to educate themselves, or at the very least, they have to study. So if they're studying, that means they're probably inside of some type of educational platform, like a college, trades, yeah, girls do trades, trade school, etc. So it kind of shows that they actually want to better themselves and actually do something. But if you're walking in the city and you see a girl in a corner and she's, sizing you up and talking to you, just know she probably wants something from you. She doesn't really care about you. You could be any you. It just so happens that you're the you at that point in time, and they want your money. They want to try to be a trick, or they want to try to give you something in exchange for money. And then if you meet somebody, let's say in college, you know how college girls are. So it's like that's 50-50 there. It's honestly probably 70-30, but I'm being polite. Number 1 place you can meet somebody would be church, because unless they're being forced to go, but even then they still have some type of godly values and principles, or at least, at the very least, godly knowledge, to where if you meet them in church and they like you, your level of success is a lot higher compared to meeting them on a dating app, where we all know. And I'll actually flip the script, because I know I said I'm going to talk about men at the end, but I'm going to sprinkle the topic of men in it now. So with that being said, men go onto social media / dating apps to look for hookups. It's no secret, because again, thinking with this head, but there's also another head that they're thinking about. And they're thinking, what's an easy way? Because a lot of men are introverted and they're nervous and they're shy and they don't want to go out there and meet people. They would rather just test their, and I hate saying this word, but okay, I won't say the word. I'll just say chances. They want to test their chances on a social media app, because they might assume that, well, if a girl is communicating with them in a sexual way, that it's going to better their success of actually linking up and hooking up, because they're giving them that attention. So meet people at church. Go to church. Heck, if you're not a believer, if you're a non-believer, maybe you'll become a believer. Maybe you'll actually find a decent person in church. So start going to church, get off these dating apps, and maybe the library second place, but definitely stay away from these college students too. So that's tip number 2. The third tip is to better your life first, because then that's going to mitigate the chances of you being in the friend zone, because it's all about confidence. You can look however you want in this world. If you're really overweight, if you're out of shape, if you have health problems, none of that matters if your confidence is up there. You have to actually kind of act like you know the part. But don't be phony about it, because people will catch on. People will read that. But if you're bettering yourself, you are going to have a better foundation when it comes from within. And it's going to reflect upon how you interact with people and what people notice about you, because not every person that talks to you doesn't have some type of opinion about you. From the first glance, you're going to look at somebody and get that automatic judgment. But when you start to get to know them, that judgment may shift certain ways. I mean, looking at me, you might think I'm just some dirty stoner hippie because of my hair and, whatever. But that's far from the truth. In a lot of ways I am dirty, but I'm clean too. Speaking of clean, I'm not a hippie. I don't do drugs. I haven't touched a drug in over 9 years. I don't even drink. But that's not the point. The point is that initial just reaction of seeing somebody. So if you are judging people based on the way they look, that's pretty much gonna shoot you in the foot, and vice versa, because you don't know a person. People don't choose certain attributes of themselves from how they were born. They might choose their style, what they wear. They might choose how long they want their hair to be or how short. They might choose if they're wearing makeup and stuff like that. But they're not choosing like their skin color or their health conditions for the most part, you know? So with all that being said, better your life first. Get your money in order. Get your health in order. Get all that in order, and that's going to boost your confidence, and that's going to get people to like you for the real you. In fact, it's going to make you like yourself better, which means you might actually take opportunities that you otherwise wouldn't have. So do that, better yourself. Because growing up with me, I use this excuse like, oh, I don't care about women. I don't care about making money because women's gonna use me. And I'd rather just stay broke and not do anything and stay out of shape. That way I'm not gonna be used. And maybe the right person will be there for me, not for what I have. But then I realized, well, that ain't doing anything for me because I'm not feeling better about myself. It's not helping me grow. It's not helping me become a better person. And more importantly, people aren't gonna wait around for you. The world ain't gonna wait. See, with a guy will take a homeless girl as long as she's not cheating on him. And honestly, in some cases, a lot of people do stay with people that cheat on them just to be with somebody. But yeah, with men, their standards are much lower, their expectations are much lower. With women, nah, they want money, they want you to be in shape. And again, I know, generalizing, but the majority of women, the good women, should care about a person having a foundation in their life. Because if they don't, then it just shows that they feel like they're not worth anything more. They're not worth anything better than a low-life bum doing nothing in life. Now, but going back to my personal story, this was really 10 years ago. Yeah, because it's 2024 now. I was working at LA Fitness in 2014, right around this time. And yeah, I was having that attitude like, oh, you know, I don't care to make a lot of money. I don't even care to drive. I'll just do my marathon running. I'll just care about just bettering my body, and I'll impress people that way. But then this girl, she was like, where's your car? And I was like, well, I do the run thing. I just run. I'm not trying to drive. You know, I don't want to be used. I don't want to have to give people rides and only be liked because I have a car. And she was like, well, don't do it for other people. Do it for yourself. And it hit me like a sack of bricks. Like, you know what? Yeah, why am I limiting myself just so people will ignore me? And I worked at a gym. So I was constantly, you know, around people. Other gyms, I was training people and stuff like that. But yeah, her name was Mel. Shout out to Mel. I'm sure she's not gonna ever see this video. But yeah. So number 3 is better yourself. Number 4 would be no compromises. Don't settle. Like, so number 3 is to better yourself, of course, and not settle for anybody just to be with somebody, because there's a few reasons for that. Number 1 for part 4 is because then you're going to lead people on, because you might not even like that person, but you just want to be in a relationship. Number 2 is it's honestly wasting your time for finding that right person, because you're so busy focusing on somebody who you shouldn't be that it's taking away your time, your energy, your effort from somebody who's better suited for you and somebody who you're suited better for. So don't waste people's time. Don't waste your own time. Don't settle. It's pretty simple. Don't compromise. And number 5, take it slow. All right, you went to church, you met the person. Let me grab a sip real quick. Stay with a Gatorade. Gotta cool down a little bit. All right. Don't rush things is pretty much number 5. You went to church, you met the person, and you realized quickly in a relationship that that person has a lot of skeletons and demons, and that's why they're going to church, to overcome, to be delivered. But they're talking to like multiple people, right? Now your heartstrings got tugged a little bit too quick, and you want to be with this person. You find them attractive. You're attracted to them, they're attracted to you, and you had some good chemistry, but they're not really too sure about you. They're waiting to see how other things go with other people, to see if it's working out better, because they might like them just better. And then now you're depressed because you didn't take it slow to wait. People jump into things way too quickly, and that's an issue. The reason why it's an issue is for multiple reasons, but I'm not going to do these checklists. Basically, yeah, to recap, you just got to take things slow. You got to better yourself. You got to find a person's social circle and get their background. You got to try. And I guess bonus tip number 6 is don't give up. No, you guys tell me. Should I put my part on this side or the other side? I don't know. But number 6, I kind of forgot what I said. Yeah, number 6 is don't give up. You don't want to give up on stuff. You really want to keep trying, even if it takes a while. Because a saying I live by is the harder things seems, the better the reward. Because you overcame and you're doing what a lot of people can't do. And number 2 is the longer you're in something, the harder it is to get out, period. Like the longer you're in something and it goes wrong, the more you're invested in that person and the more you don't want to give up and the more you want to try and the more you want to compromise and shrug things off and then have this hope that they'll change. But deep down, people don't change, okay? People don't want to change. People just, for some reason in their mind, they go back like a dog that returns to their own vomit. Also, another one too is if it doesn't start well, it's not going to end well. So yeah, you go to this nightclub, you meet this girl, you sleep with her, and this is a true story, not for me, not my story, but you sleep with her and then you learn quickly, oh shoot, she had a disease. Now you're stuck with that disease. You're stuck with it because it didn't start well. You didn't meet her in the right spot. She goes there, she meets other people that has STDs, and now she passed it on to you. You thought you were getting, I don't want to say the word, starts with an L. You ain't getting L, you took the L. Now you got the AIDS, bro. And that's it. All right, so now that we got those out of the way, here's the next one. It's gonna be flipped over to guys. So ladies and guys who are listening to this, just know that, again, men think with the wrong head. They're going on these dating apps to hook up with girls, to increase their body count, because that's all men honestly really care about. And deep down, it's a safety mechanism because, yeah, men do want relationships, but they get bored. They feel like the woman's cheating on them. They feel like it's not working out, and so they move on. And men just get bored. We get bored of the same girl. I'm guilty of it. I have I don't know, in 2024 standards, I have a low body count, but prior to this year, prior to this decade, it was a moderate body count. And it sucks. Besides my children, I wouldn't trade them to be a virgin, but I'd rather be a virgin. Being a virgin is probably the coolest thing ever. I have a friend who's pushing 40. They can make a movie about him because he's a virgin. He's about to be 40, but in a few years. It's like tattoos. It's like everyone wants to have tattoos to be cool, but because they're so common, not having tattoos is even cooler. Like, dude, you're cool. You don't have any tattoos. That's cool. No piercings, no tattoos. You never did this drug before. That's cool. See, and the Bible lays out ways we should be and shouldn't be. And people want to be rebellious, but then that becomes the norm. It's pretty ridiculous, honestly, that people want the norm to be them being on drugs, and the norm to be hookup culture, and the norm to be going to the bar and drinking culture. It's a joke. So I could have probably summed up this video by just saying, look, take it slow, don't date at all, don't marry, because that's the biggest tip I got to tell you guys. If you get married, you're in it for life, period. Marriage is for life, and that's that. Marriage is for life. People disagree. I've gotten into so many arguments, debates, and stuff about it. But if you marry somebody, that's it. You hear me? That's it. If you get married, that's it. Until death. Death is the only thing that breaks a marriage. I got married, and I got divorced. And I can't marry until my ex-wife, if you want to call her that, my covenant spouse, passes away. But it didn't stop her from moving on. But that's another story. And I told her the verses, and that's it. So I didn't practice what I preached. However, I didn't know about it. So that's why I got to reveal this to you guys, that once you get married, that's it. I mean, don't take my word for it. Read the Bible for yourself. And you can do what you want. If you decide to remarry, if you're in your third, fourth relationship while your first is alive, and you die and you go to hell, you're judged for it, don't say I didn't warn you. That's your choice. That's on you. But just know that I tried. I warned you. So I can't be with anybody. I have been with people, but I repented of it and I'm done. I'm not watching anything inappropriate anymore, and I'm not trying to hook up or link up or do anything with anybody, because the message should be to spread the gospel, try to help people repent of their sins. I can't save anybody. I acknowledge that. I know that. But it's not about me. It's about the Lord. And that's kind of what this video is for. And I'll make more of these. I know it's long and you haven't even made it this far, and if you have, wow, cool. But yeah, as always, may the Lord Jesus Christ bless you. Stay safe out there. Appreciate you tuning in. you have any questions, post them in the comment section below, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. And you can also email me at ryanreax@gmail.com. My website's ryanreax.com. You can find my personal number. You can hit me up. You can go on my Facebook, just search RyanREAX. Remember, RyanREAX. Let's have a conversation. If you need any help, I'm here for you. Peace.